Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Hello and welcome once again to Quick Shot Reviews for Cheap Shot Entertainment. Once again, I am your host, Luke, and you are the Cheap Shot Nation, and we're here mutually for our love of film and everything about the motion picture business. So, this brings us to the month of March. Obviously, it's scary season because all the horror movies, slashers, and all the things that psychological thrillers and all that kind of stuff seem to be coming out in March. Don't ask me why, when October's perfectly good for these kind of things, but they never release anything in October, which is utterly deplorable. Anyway, went to go and see Scream 6, and considering the Scream 5 was only released last year and Scream 6 has been released in 2023, a mere year later, I wasn't expecting a lot from this movie, but I will say this before we get into the main part of the video or the podcast, if you're listening on Spotify, that I was pleasantly surprised. So if you want to know what my thoughts are on Scream 6, please join me for the main part of the podcast. Once again, this is the Scream 6 podcast review for Quick Shot Reviews. It is a film directed by two people, Matt Bettinelli-Olpin and Tyler Gillett, who directed Scream 5. And it is co-written by Kevin Williamson, the original writer, which again makes it really cool. You've got Courtney Cox in there, Melissa Barrera, Jenna Ortega, but no Neve Campbell, because she wasn't impressed with the size of the paycheck they were giving her to appear for 3, maybe 4 scenes this time. She didn't appear a lot in Scream 5, and it didn't really harm it for her not to be there. It will mark the first film with Neve Campbell's Sidney Prescott not being in this series, but I feel that in Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega that they have a new top billing for the survivor of the series, and if they're going to continue this on, that's exactly what it needs. It can't hang on the past, and besides, you've got Courtney Cox playing Gail Weathers, and that's really all you need from the first one, besides which at this point most of the original cast has been killed. So this next installment takes place in New York City, and a little Easter egg here, it does reference a movie also shot in New York City. Well, partly. They didn't really have the budget to actually shoot in New York City, so I think they shot it in Vancouver. And to give you a massive clue, it is a movie that takes place mostly on a boat, even though it takes Manhattan in the title. A movie so bad that it's actually become culturally very good. Something that I cannot say for Scream 6, because this movie is genuinely very, very good. It's got a good premise, and you wouldn't think that after 5 other installments. You've also got Hayden Panettiere in there, reprising her role from Scream 4. Skeet Ulrich makes a fleeting comeback as he did in Scream 5. Roger Jackson still provides the voice of Ghostface, rather. And like I say, you got Gail Weathers, played by Courtney Cox, Melissa Barrera playing Sam Carpenter, Jenna Ortega playing Cara Carpenter, Jasmine Savoy Brown playing Mindy Meeks Martin, and Mason Gooding playing Chad Meeks Martin. Obviously, half brothers, sisters of Randy Meeks, the film nerd from the first two movies. Yeah, like I say, you got Hayden Panettiere as well. Something that I didn't, something that I've mentioned, but I didn't give her the character Kirby Reed reprising her role. She's, a huge part of this film. But don't get caught up on Samara Weaving being on the poster either, because much like the original Scream, she gets the treatment. Yes. The treatment. Only reserved for Drew Barrymore in the first one. Really sad, because I'll have to say this right now. She does play a college teacher teaching film and teaching a class about slasher movies. That is my perfect woman, and I'm not ashamed to hide that. Besides which, she is smoking hot. So yeah, that's an insight into my thoughts on that one. Anyway, this movie, it goes past the Requel, and it creates the series. It creates the legacy, and uses that legacy very, very well with a really good story. There's obviously the standard Scooby-Doo ending. I would have gotten away with it with those if it wasn't for those meddling kids and all that kind of stuff. And I only got 2 out of, I only got a few of the killers right. So, yeah, it really does its job very well. The story weaves its way through the 2-hour runtime very aimlessly. There are some very tense moments. There are some very funny moments in this film, and that is pretty much everything you want in a slasher movie. You need the funny parts to offset the semi-scary parts, the parts with tension in it, the ones that you go, ugh, I hope they get out. And this film does that. It creates that tension, and you feel that you want the main characters to win in this one, the main protagonists to win over the antagonists, and that's what a good horror movie does. And I've got to say, it's nice to see Hayden Panettiere in this one as well, reprising a role that she played a couple of years previous. She doesn't come out much, and obviously with the death of her recent brother, this one's, it's good that they got it filmed now, previously. So, yeah, before that happened, and RIP to Jansen Panettiere as well. But yeah, she's not known for a lot, and she does, when she picks them very, very well. So would I recommend going to see this film? Absolutely. Scream 6, get yourself down to the cinema to go and see this one. That is pretty much everything I have to say about this film. So with that, please join us again for more Movie Madness in March, and I will see you next time. Thank you very much for listening. Goodbye.
Hiya.